Centaura, one of the best portrayals of war on a free platform, is characterized by an incredibly in-depth lore. The storyline in question spans millennia. However, Centaura focuses on the first half of the 20th century in a period known as the Centauran Wars. During this conflict, a nigh-fascist empire of the name Antares begins conquering its neighbors in an attempt to end the ceaseless fighting that plagues the continent. The players take control of soldiers fighting in battles taking place within these campaigns. While not turning points, these fights are all canon. However, consideration of each map reveals a flaw. The majority have little to no strategic sense. We begin with Kelson Village and Blackton, both small settlements. Blackton is a coal mining town with easily no more than 100 people living inside. However, the manpower invested into it is grossly over-exaggerated. Death tolls reach over 1,000, and you wonder why Cetus, the country defending the town, invested so much into it if manpower is canonically low. Choked in chlorine gas, Kelson Village is an even worse case. 400 soldiers on either side, 2 to 4 companies' worth, are committed to capturing a tiny village with a few houses. Both maps suffer from the problem of not being important enough to demand the amount of resources depicted. Next up is Capri Valley and Mons Planis, 2 trench warfare maps suffering from awkward placement. Capri Valley is a series of disconnected trenches tucked between 2 hills. For whatever reason, Cetun's soldiers are not already in their trench positions. The trenches themselves are not connected, nor have a sufficient pattern to minimize artillery damage. The hills are also small and easy to flank with, rendering the trenches easy to destroy from behind and allow a larger force to advance. If this map wanted to look like a true stalemate, both sides should spawn in their own smaller trenches with a central no man's land dividing the 2 teams. The map could be wider, but rebalanced with machine guns. Mons Planis suffers much better than its counterpart. The only issue is glaring. The surrounding terrain is flat and the trench systems are narrow. Flanking is all too easy. If the trenches were extended into the woods with the fighting done through scripted props, realism and atmosphere should be improved. Ascendant Forest makes almost total sense. Enough resources are stored within the trenches to make it a garrison, and fires flank the surrounding territory. Flanking is not only dangerous, but could leave an offensive open to being sliced in half. However, the defending team does not occupy the trenches at the start of the match. It only makes sense that a defender is in the defenses. Route 23 is a suicide mission. The attackers are driving their armored vehicles in a mined, pillboxed, entrenched, and stalked position. It is no surprise that the attacking team loses most of the time. It would make much more sense for the defenses, at least the pillboxes and anti-tank guns, to be destroyed by flanking soldiers while engineers clear mines as the armored vehicles advanced once it is deemed safe. This offensive on paper should be an obvious disaster. Battery Q and Roland's Prairie are perfect. Both maps are objectives based around capturing gun positions with what seems like the perfect order of operations. Flanking is out of the question as Roland's Prairie has to occur for the survival of an offensive, and Battery Q is one of many battles occurring along a coastline that must be tackled sequentially. All of the boxes are checked. Everything works. These maps are a perfect storm. Nonetheless, these are just opinions. So much work has already gone into the maps, which are designed for gameplay rather than realism. This was not to change anything, just give something to chew on.